What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to talk about how I've made over $700 in the last 24 hours. Now, you might be saying, Jared, you're only up 451. What do you mean? Well, we are in this position on Robinhood, which you better believe when we open the market tomorrow, this is going to be worth $310 profit. Let's look at the chart, right? This is just exactly what you want to see, and this is exactly what I called for. Now, listen, I can't pretend to be a genius because if I knew for certain, right, I would have bought maybe deep in the money leaps. Maybe even this week expiration, probably not. But, I would have done something, maybe 100 shares, right? I would have done more than just selling puts. I sold puts because I was able to identify a level I was very comfortable with being a buyer and collect premium because I figured that even if it did go down, the IV crush would kill the puts enough to make my option worth profit. Now, obviously, we're going to potentially open here tomorrow. I'm going to probably have zero reason to hold, right? Because think about it. When the market opens this high up, the beautiful part, you know what it is? It's the good and the bad, right? Because it stinks that I can't profit more off a huge move, right? I'm only profiting 340 on this position. But the good part is there's no question of if I should exit it when the market opens, because what am I going to do? Hold for maybe an extra 10 bucks, maybe an extra 20 bucks, right? Like the moment I'm up, I might as well take it because it's going to be 95% probably by tomorrow morning, unless there's, for whatever reason, some rejection. Now, how did I know to take this? I don't want to say there's any reason, right? I just knew that Robinhood has been, in my opinion, the dominant force of the retail trading market with no real competition. And the chart says that, right? So it's not like I was a genius, because another stock that I wanted to sell puts on but couldn't afford right here is Reddit. And look where Reddit is, right? Reddit is all the way down here. Another stock that people in my Discord talked about was TTD. And look where TTD is. It's all the way down here. And truth be told, had my account been a much bigger size, I probably would have sold all three. Now, obviously with IV Crush, if you watched my episode yesterday, then you would know that Lyft did in fact gap down and then came back and didn't cover all of it, but covered a lot of it, allowing me to get out. I think I got out somewhere up here, right? And ended up being a great exit, but it did come down more. Now, again, that's the cool part about option selling, is once we were like up in these levels, I didn't really see a reason to hold any longer because I had already profited. Let's see. So we sold Hood for, not Hood, sorry. Let's see. We sold Lyft for $512, bought back for $192. So we had already profited over $320, an extra $190 for a stock that truthfully wasn't even bullish, right? It wasn't even bullish. The gap for earnings was down. So it's like, when I looked at the simulator last night, it said I was going to be down 500. So to get out for 300 profit, I mean, you really can't ask for much more, right? Now, with that being said, with this Robinhood position, yes, we will most likely be up 100% tomorrow morning. But, to say that it was skill that we missed out on TTD and missed out on Reddit is just false. It was pure luck, right? It was pure luck of the draw. And last night, DoorDash had earnings, right? And if we would have taken DoorDash, we probably would have been up 100% at open. Now, I don't know how much we would have lost on this dump, but it would have been a more pleasant trade than Lyft. It was pretty opposite of Lyft, actually, right? Lyft gapped down and came back up, right? I don't know. Maybe DoorDash and Lyft are inverse each other, right? I'm not going to start trying that strategy. But the point I'm getting at is like, I only didn't take DoorDash because of the fact that it was too big for my account. Now, had I taken DoorDash and Lyft, they both would have won. But the point I'm getting at is like, it really is just genuine luck that I wasn't in Reddit or TTD. Now, I did say Robinhood was my favorite for a while, but I've also been saying good things about Reddit, and I really can't imagine this earnings drop being anything other than a good place to buy. I mean, it's just, it's been too bullish, and ultimately a gap like this, it's going to have to at least fill somewhat, unless, if it wants to continue down. This isn't the type of gap that's just going to go skipping around. I guess Tesla kind of has done that. I don't see Reddit doing the same thing, right? Tesla's not going to have the same volatility as it doesn't have Elon Musk as its CEO. Reddit. But yeah, I mean, listen, it could have ultimately come down to fill this gap. Even if it does, I would still consider Reddit a decent buy at 180, just because of how strong it's been. Rumble, now this stock, right, and I don't want to start looking at random stocks, but this stock was something I thought was good, and now I think it's really not great. I mean, listen, this could be double bottoming, but truthfully, I don't want to sit here again and act like I'm perfect. That's why I sell options, is because, if I can look at a company like Robinhood, that's a fundamentally sound company, right? This is just doing the bare minimum, just looking at the revenue, right? Just being aware to what makes sense in life, right? And I know common sense doesn't always apply in the markets, but you can use common sense in the sense of like, companies that you can genuinely explain with revenue increasing and, a strong hold on their market, right? Like just little things like that can go a long way in the world of selling options because, you just need the company to not be going bankrupt, right? Like when I was in RGTI, it's not bankrupt, but just watching it go from here to here, scared the living, heck out of me. And, some of the stocks that I'm trading now, they're never going to be doing 70% in a week, even during earnings, right? Even during earnings, it's only going to get 10, 15%. And we're still collecting big, juicy premiums. So that's really that. We made, let's see, Shopify, we sold for $570, bought back for $160. The next day, Lyft for $512, bought back for $190. The next day, Robinhood for $310, didn't buy it back yet, but gonna buy back for $0. And TQQQ, I literally just don't even have the mental energy to start getting into every trade we've taken, but they've pretty much have all been profitable over the last week. Obviously, there was some covered calls that we rolled for a loss. But that's just the game, right? Sometimes you take a loss because you see better opportunities. And that's very important in the world of trading, investing, option selling, right? Is to not stay in a losing position for too long. Even Connell, which we were in for a while, but I'm so thankful I got out because look what it's done. I would have just been sitting in these $45 puts just for no reason. Let's see what it's worth at this moment. I'm sure I'd be up more had I stayed in this position. Right, but I couldn't just stay in this 1 month expiring. Let's see, it's at $5. And what did we get out of Connell for? We got out for $5.90. So, we would have made an extra, 90 times 4, an extra $360. We've made a lot more than $360 since we've gotten out of that position. So, just a great job by us by making sure to just not spend too much time in a loser, right? Doesn't mean panic out of losers, right? Look for a way to get out. But don't spend too much time either. Well, I got to go charge my laptop, right? I'm sure you guys see if I don't, it's going to die. But I hope you learned from this video. We made $700 in the last 24 hours. We're going to most likely be playing DraftKings earnings tomorrow. So I will talk about it in tomorrow's video. Hopefully it goes well as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.